Well, today is a great day, and I want to share that with you because I've been having some crazy emotions that are up and down for past, I would say, good 4 years, but mainly in the last year and a half. So today's episode is all about women's health, particularly perimenopause. As you know, I'm an advocate for well being, for good health, for living an abundant life, an optimistic life, a positive life. However, sometimes things happen that are out of your control and you become something you don't recognize. You don't know who this person is. You don't know what is happening to you. And that's exactly what I'm here to talk about today. A couple of weeks ago, I posted on my community on TikTok, and my post was about how I was feeling, which was unmotivated, anxious, foggy brain, not wanting to do anything. And I got lots of feedback from you guys. A lot of you DM me, a lot of you commented on the post saying, help me, please. I feel the same way and I don't know what it is. Well, I am here today to share with you what I've been going through, what I've been doing to help with my symptoms, and just my overall experience with this so incredible life of a woman over 40. And sometimes even as early as the 30s. I've heard women complain about their symptoms as early as they're 33, 35. Now, I have a lot of women friends, a lot from all over the world, and I have a lot of them that are here with me in Toronto that are very close. I also have 5 older sisters. For past decade, I've been wondering what's going on with with all my friends, with all my sisters, with everyone I love. Why are they so different? What has changed them? Is it life? Is it, the getting older, maybe getting wiser? But a lot of times, it's not, the change is not in a good way. It's horrific. It's exhausting. It's unbearable. And I couldn't understand it. So I would judge sometimes. I would be like, why did this person change? Or what's wrong with them? Or why are they acting the way they're acting? Until I start piecing all of this together through my experience, which I'm going to get to in a minute. I found out that not diagnosed at all by any of the doctors that I've seen, and I've seen a few doctors, but just knowing for myself how my body operates, how my body works, how my body changes over the years. I know that there's something off. I know that this is not normal, but it's part of nature. I know what I'm going through is every woman on the planet has gone through or will go through at some point of her life, usually after 40 most of the time. However, I know I am in perimenopause. And how this came by, it was in 2022, in midst of COVID, I started feeling overly emotional. I've jotted down a few notes just so I wouldn't forget because I want to go through step by step with you guys and explain to you what this is, like with my as the best as I can. Okay, just explain to you my experience. So in 2022, I started having symptoms of extreme mood swings. I mean, I've had mood swings, light mood swings throughout my life, every month, once a month, or for a week, whatever. My husband likes to call it 3 weeks out of the month. But I know it was never this extreme. I also became extremely emotional. I'm usually not that emotional. I am an emotional person, but not to this degree. So I thought I'd let it be. A couple of months passed by, I kept getting worse and worse. And I thought it might have to do with COVID, we we're all stuck inside the home. It brought back a lot of my childhood trauma, living in a war, in a refugee camp, having to be suppressed. A lot of that sort of brought back those kind of emotions. So I thought, for sure, it's that. I went and saw my doctor. Well, don't you know, in the office, while I was speaking to my doctor, I broke down. I became extremely emotional. I had tears, I had all of that. And my doctor suggested to see somebody, to see a doctor for this. Maybe I had, some sort of depression. Maybe I was going through some suppressed trauma that was built up. And I thought of it and I thought maybe she's right. And I start doing some inner works. I start meditating. That was the beginning of my meditation journey because I start researching, just like everything else that I do in my life. I'm self-taught. I teach myself everything. I'm a student. I always call myself a student of life. So I start researching my symptoms, what was happening. I start reading books. I start listening to podcasts. I start attending master classes on all different things. And I kept learning that it wasn't what I was feeling. It wasn't what I was, it was helping. A lot of things will happen. Meditation definitely has helped me like day and night. But knowing me, I'm very resilient. I'm very disciplined. I continued going to the gym 5 to 6 days a week, even when it was COVID, when it was shut down. My husband and I would find any gym that was open. We would go and we didn't care how much it cost. We would just go. If we didn't work out at home, we would jog 5K a day. Almost every day we would go for a jog. I was like, you lock us up. You can't make us, not be able to run in nature. So I would do 5K kilometers of walking every day with my husband. So I stayed up to date with my health, with my fitness, with my clean eating. I cooked every meal in the house. It was actually one of the best times of my life because I could stay home and just do the things I love, like cooking, hanging out with my kids, being with my husband, just do these simple things that gave me joy. So I was like, why am I still feeling these mood swings and this emotional disturbance that I'm feeling? Few months went by, I think about 6 months, I went and visited my doctor. She couldn't figure out what it is. She sent me to a gynecologist, a specialist. Within a year and a half, I was going through a lot and I could not figure it out. Now, perimenopause never crossed my mind. I was never mentioned by any of the doctors that I've seen. None of them had mentioned it. Spoke to my sisters. Nobody even talked to me about it. And I said, I have 5 older sisters that have already been either going through it or had gone through it. No one had mentioned anything like that because they didn't know themselves, right? They weren't taught what that was or even explained what perimenopause was. So I kept going to see all these doctors and no one knew what was going on. And I kept getting referred to this doctor, that doctor, this specialist. I even saw a emotional doctor and I sat on a Zoom during COVID and I bawled my eyes out for an hour and a half. Cost me $500 to speak because it was a private doctor, but I didn't care. I was just looking for some answers. But they weren't coming. There was no answers. One day I came across this. My symptoms got worse, to be honest, throughout 22 and 23. And then at the end of 23, things start changing. My periods start changing. I start getting it twice a month sometimes. And I wasn't feeling great. Again, I was extremely emotional. I was yelling at my kids for no reason. I would cry and I have amazing kids. I would be like feeling guilty right after that. I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I just yell at my children? What is happening to me? Now, I've always been the person who is very positive, very outgoing, very cheerful, fun loving. My motto, me and my husband, is like, if it's not fun, we don't do it. If it's anything that's not fun, we don't approach it at all. So I became shut down. I became really, I start suppressing my emotions. I'm like, this is not me. I can't be doing this. I continued working out. I continued eating healthy, and I started taking supplements. I always took supplements, but I upped my supplements. And I will go through all of that with you at the end of the episode. Just bear with me. I'll go through all the things I've been taking, all the supplement, all the things that are working, that are not working. I will try and explain to you the best I can. I was talking to one of my doctor friend, and she says, well, why don't you see a private doctor, a functional doctor? Maybe it's your hormones. And a functional doctor is a private doctor, is not covered by the OHIP or medical or insurance or anything like that. So you have to go and find it yourself. So I researched and I came across a few different ones, and I talked to one that I felt comfortable with. I started working with him for 6 months. Now he's a functional doctor specializing in hormones. He's taking courses in hormones. Again, he doesn't know anything about menopause, but he knows a lot about hormones and how they change. He did a thorough blood test, extreme blood test. Again, it was private, so it was out of pocket and it was extremely expensive. But I didn't care. I wanted to know what was happening. Did everything. Checked for my thyroid, checked for my hormone levels, for my estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, for my DHEA. He checked for everything. And he explained to me, and it was over the Zoom, and we had like an hour and a half phone call. He would explain everything to me, what the blood tests were, what my markers were, what I was lacking, what I was up in terms of my markers, what I was doing good. And he never once said it was menopause or perimenopause. So when I asked him about my period being so irregular, or, sometimes more than irregular, he said that he did ultrasound along with my extended blood test, and he said I had PCOS over my ovaries. So he recommended I take all different natural stuff. So I started doing that. And my period never changed, by the way. It's still the same. I asked him about menopause or perimenopause. He's like, well, I don't see any symptom of that in your blood. But my body is telling me differently. And I kept asking, well, my body's telling me these things. These are things that are happening to me. These are all the symptoms of perimenopause, like sweaty nights, like dry eyes, dry throat, extreme mood swings, emotional imbalance, episode of anxiety, which I've never even had before. Unmotivated. I am the mother of motivation. I wake up super early. I jump out of bed, extremely happy and grateful. I wake my husband up. We get together. We get ready, go to the gym every day for past 20 years. Go to the gym, come back, eat healthy, work, take care of my children, take care of my home. I'm a go. I'm extremely disciplined. This is not like me. And he's like, well, it's still not menopause or perimenopause. And this takes me to 2024. Now, throughout all this, I'm educating myself any way I can. In every possible way, I'm learning. I'm reading books. I'm reading articles. I'm watching. I'm paying for master classes. I'm going to seminars. I'm learning all these things. At the same time, trying to do my duties as a parent, as a wife, as a business owner. And it's extremely hard, but I'm still pushing through. 6 months with this doctor, he retired, and I start kind of worried. But before we end this with this doctor, he put me on HRT, hormone replacement therapy, which is bioidentical to what your body makes. It's not synthetic. So he put me on DHEA, which my body was lacking, progesterone, and testosterone, as well as thyroid. I was having chills. I was having lack of libido. I was having extreme fatigue. So these were all due to lack of these hormones in my body. As we age, we lose the production of all these hormones. Our body doesn't make them anymore. So, or it makes very, very little of them. So that's why we start the perimenopause. It helped for 6 months. When he retired, I said, you know what? I'm going to give myself a break. I'm going to see how this goes. I was off of it for 3 months. And let me tell you, those were the worst 3 months. I was feeling all those feelings now times 10. I was feeling unmotivated, exhausted to the point I was taking a nap, along with 8 to 9 hours of sleep. My whole entire life, I've only slept maximum 6 to 7 hours, and I've gone like 16 to 18 hours of extreme energy. I've had people my whole life tell me, where do you get this energy from? I'm like, I eat well, I lift weight, I move my body constantly, and I think positively and optimistically. And I think those are the things that keep me going all the time. I'm happy. I'm just a happy person. I don't let any negative go through my head. Even if it does, I quickly rid of it. But now it's almost impossible to get back to that Nina that I knew. Forward to 2025, 3 months after I was off of everything, I was so shut down that I didn't know how to cook anymore. And I love to cook. I couldn't think, like, a simple conversation. Words would not come out. I would have brain fog. I was extremely unmotivated. Episode of anxiety, crying over nothing, worrying about everything. It was just extreme. So I found another private functional doctor who is well known amongst a lot of my friends who have been going to him for years and years and years. Also is a he. Also did an extensive blood test, just like my previous doctor, even more. He had got all my records from the other doctor, and he went beyond some of those measures and said to me, yes, I was lacking my progesterone, all the DHEA, and he put me back on all of those for HRT. But during that 3 months, I didn't want to go back on HRT. I've never been on hormone, anything, not birth control pill, not anything, no non-hormone stuff ever. I've always been natural. So I was like, I don't want to put anything in my body. But this was non-synthetic, was bioidentical. So I said, okay, I'll try it for about 6 months, a year, and see what it does. So I went back on it just recently, about a month and a half ago. So, and we're trying to adjust my dosage up and down. I can't tell you what's right, what's wrong for you. However, I can tell you that you and only you know who you are, know what your body's about, know what you're going through. No doctor, no specialist, nobody knows you. And frankly, nobody knows much about this whole menopause thing anyway. The more research I'm doing, the more I'm realizing most medical doctors have no idea about these women issues. They are not trained for that. They never were, and they never have. A lot of these doctors that I'm finding, they're new at it. They're learning all about it. They're trying to get some sense to figure out how to help these women that have been struggling for centuries and no one's doing anything about it. So I am an HRT. I don't know for how much longer because I'm not sure if I want to keep doing this for a long time. I'm 49 years old. I've been in perimenopause since 2002. Now the symptoms are getting stronger, like hot flashes. I never used to have hot flashes. I didn't even know what that was. I honestly thought I would never get this perimenopause, menopause thing. I was going to escape it because I'm so healthy. And I thought this was for the women that didn't take care of their body, didn't take care of themselves. That's why they were suffering. It's for every woman. Every woman's going to go through this one way or another, whether we like it or not. It's Mother Nature. We all got our period when we were teenagers. We're all going to lose it in our late 40s, early 50s. It's just the way it is. And we have to deal with it. If you remember as a woman when you were a teenager, you had it pretty bad. It was something new. Your body was changing. You didn't know what you were going through. You were hormonal. You were cramping. You were emotional. You went through all of the stuff. But then you got used to it. It became easier and easier the older you got. Well, this is the same thing reversed. It's just going to get easier and easier. The more I study, the more I learn, the more I realize this too shall pass. What I've been doing that's been helping me, I've been staying proactive. I am moving my body, even though it is so hard. I told my husband, I told all my loved ones, I don't know what I'm going through, but I know I'm going through something. I need your help. I need you to be on top of things. I need you to be on top of me in every possible way. I may feel just want to stay at home. I may feel depressed sometimes and I want to be in my pajamas all day. Don't let me. If I want to take naps, unless I'm really extremely tired and I want to do it and I say, okay, let me do it, then okay, otherwise don't let me. Make sure you get me moving. Make sure I have that support from you because I don't know what's going on. I even went as far as told my husband, listen, I don't know what's going on with my libido. I don't know. I used to be the one that initiated all this great stuff. Now, I don't have it in me. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure how long this will last. So I need you as my husband, as my partner, to initiate this, to initiate all these things. You know me better than anybody in the world. You know what I like, what I don't like. And if you see me not being myself, not going out and enjoying life and having fun, make me. Please make me. And he's been an amazing support. So that's one. One is find support from your family, from your parents, from your partners, from anyone that you trust. Tell them, be honest with them. Number two, don't be embarrassed. Don't be scared. This is Mother Nature doing this. It's not us. It's not you. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. For centuries, women have been embarrassed about telling the stories regarding menopause. Why? Who cares? This is our body going through natural process. It's not something we can control. It doesn't make you old. It doesn't make you ugly. It doesn't make you lose that spark. You're still you. Your just body's going through changes. Love who you are. Be like you. That's what my podcast is all about. Be like you. Find support. Don't worry about being judged. Number three, I want you to be proactive. Learn. Be the student of life. Teach yourself. You have a phone in your hand. You have an iPhone, whatever phone you have in your hand. You have internet. You can research. Everything is for free right now. There's information overload in this world. You can find any information you want. In fact, just don't even turn on your phone and just talk to someone in the house or talk to yourself. Say the word menopause. Turn on your phone. Within seconds, you're going to see everything you need to know on menopause, on every social algorithm and everything you open up. Why? Because your phone's listening, unfortunately. And it will show you exactly what you're looking for, even without even asking it. I literally had my phone on the counter when I was talking to my husband the other day about something, and I came back and I opened my phone. I had not said anything about that information on my phone. It was right there. I was like, isn't that funny? AI is not just listening, they're watching. They know exactly what's happening. So you'll find that information. Be proactive. Listen to podcasts regarding the subject. Follow doctors. Listen to the ones that they know what they're talking about. Listen to the experienced ones that are going through it. I had said in a master class 3 or 4 times. One of them was Oprah Winfrey and Halle Berry. They talked about menopause on that. Dr. Mary Claire is on Instagram. She specializes on menopause. She's certified menopause specialist. She's an OBGYN. And she talks about all these things. I'm not saying this for you to take any medication. I'm saying this for you to educate yourself. Educate yourself. See what's good for you, what's not good for you, what you can take, what you can't take, what you want to put in your body, what you don't want to put in your body. If you want to go natural, if you can handle these symptoms, so be it. Do it. But educate yourself. You have the power in your hands. It's this square, it's rectangular, and this small. You can do it. 4, never stop moving your body. Please, 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 please. This is so important. Go to the gym, work out at home. I don't care whatever you do. Jog, run, play sports. Move your body. This is one of the best thing for you guys. Last week or 2 weeks ago, it was extreme. The symptoms were extreme. My husband said, we're going up north. We're going to go up to my best friend's cottage. We're going to go up there. We're going to do some, nature walks. We're going to do some snowmobiling. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. It's going to be fun. It was the best decision. It was 2 days of being in nature, going outside, doing physical stuff like snowmobiling, sliding, tubing, walking, just being out in the nature. I came back and it was a different person. I was a new person. Hanging out with my family and friends. Again, a new person. Move your body. This will make you forget what gives you joy. Journal. Number 5 is journal. Once you journal, you'll know what you're going through and you'll remember who you are and what you need to do. I know I'm a joyful person. I know I love being around people, having fun, working out, going out, traveling, doing all these things. For past year and a half, I feel like I've been a hermit at home. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything. I'm not lazy. I don't want to do anything. I'm forcing myself. And when I can't, I'm making my loved one force me to do these things. And then afterwards, I'm like, thank you for forcing me because I feel so much better. So journal is amazing. You just dump whatever's in your head, even though sometimes it's nothing in your head. We talked about moving your body, talked about researching, talked about journaling, meditation. Last but not least, meditation has been extremely helpful for me. Extremely. I started meditating full-time in 2022 during COVID and actually 2021, but more I went full hard in 2022. I'm telling you, there's not a day that goes by that I don't meditate, sometimes twice a day. And there's no night that I go to sleep, and not even my husband Roger's used to it, that I don't put meditation on before we go to sleep. We fall asleep to it every night. And then last but not least, the most important part, never forget to be grateful for all of this. Yes, I mean all of this. All this hard time that you're going through now, be grateful for it. Because we are grateful when things are going great in our life. We're happy, we're joyful, we're thanking our universe, thanking our God for all the good stuff when we're happy. But we have to be grateful when we're in a slump, when it's hard times like these. And it's hard, I'm not going to lie. Perimenopause, menopause, it's extremely hard. Mentally, emotionally, and physically on you and on your loved ones because they have no idea what's going on. You're changing. You're a different person. The other day I sat down and I said, and I figured out after years of journaling, I'm like, this is happening. And I think the worst part of it is that I'm grieving my old self. I'm grieving who I was, how joyful I was, how happy I was, how optimistic and loving and kind and compassionate I was. I want her back. I want her back. And I also wrote down in my journal, this too shall pass. I know I'm going to find her again. So I'm grateful for all these experiences that I'm going through right now. Because I know she's still here. She's coming back very soon. I'm going to be patient. And I'm going to be grateful for all these ups and downs that I'm going through. Because they're teaching me a lesson. And everything in life is a lesson. It's all experience. And this experience too shall pass. And I'm going to teach my daughter about this. I'm going to teach all my friends about this. I'm going to help you realize that you're not going crazy, that these are real symptoms, that every woman will go through it one way or another. There's no escaping it. No one escapes it. Even the healthiest of healthiest will not escape this. So we just have to be grateful that we are alive and healthy and strong enough to handle it. I turned 50 this year. And I am so grateful. I am so excited to turn a new decade. I used to think, oh my God, 50 is old. I'm almost there. And I'm like, I feel younger than ever, minus all these symptoms. But you know what I mean? Like, this is a great time for me. It's a new world. It's a new life happening. So I'm excited. I'm so looking forward to my 50th, to the wisdom. The older we get as women, the more wisdom we cultivate. The more knowledge we cultivate. The more learning and the more loving life. And I love my life in all seasons, in all eras. Every single one of them. From my childhood when I was living in a war-torn Iraq, to my teenage lives when I lived in a refugee camp, to my 20s when I worked 3 jobs and partied 6-7 days a week, to my 30s having babies and raising them and building my real estate business, to now my 40s accomplishing so much and going through menopause and perimenopause. I am grateful for every single decade, every single era. And I want you to feel that. I want you to feel the same. And don't be scared. There's nothing to be scared or ashamed about. We're women. We bear babies. We create a life. We create a life. If it wasn't for us, there wouldn't be no life on this earth. There wouldn't be no human race. So be proud. Be proud that you're going through many perimenopause and menopause. Be proud that you made it to this age. Be proud and be grateful. Now, I'm going to go through some of the things I've been using that are helping me, some of the supplements. But before I do so, I would love to ask you for a favor. If you are not subscribed to this podcast, I would love for you to subscribe and follow, because the more of us that are out there, like-minded women and men, because men should be listening to this as well. This is to teach you how to deal with your partner when she's going through phases like this. And she will one way or another. And this will teach you to support her better and not to take things personally, because it's not about you, it's about what she's going through. So subscribe, hit follow, whatever it takes. Share this episode with as many people as you can, because I want to help educate as many people as I can to live their beautiful life, because we all deserve to live a beautiful life. It's your birthright. So hit subscribe and follow, and let's make this viral and help everybody. Now, on to the good part. So most of these supplements I've been taking my whole life. Hence why I look so young. We'll start with vitamin C, D, B12, B complex, magnesium. I love magnesium. Zinc, oregano oil, turmeric, and black seed oil. These are my non-negotiable. I've been feeding them to my children and my husband their whole life, pretty much. Oh, and fish oil. I also take probiotic. I take berberine for my PCOS. And these are all natural supplements. There's no synthetics in there. On to my hormone replacement therapy. I'm on progesterone at night. I take 2 tablets at night, and I have daytime cream that I put on my abdomen. I take testosterone cream on my inner thighs. I take DHEA once a day, and I take thyroid every morning and every afternoon. These are my HRT. And I am basically doing a trial on my body to see how it's going to work, if this is going to help, until I go through this menopause. And then most likely I'll be off of all of the HRT and only take what my body needs. And it's not making anymore. So there you have it. For all of you women that need any question answered, don't hesitate to hit me on my Instagram or my TikTok. Actually, Instagram is better because TikTok, I don't get you DMs. There's hundreds of them, so I don't get them read. Hit me on my Instagram at Nina Kako. I'll have it in my show notes. And DM me anything you need, any questions. I will answer them. I'm going over my time right now, but I will also go through all my daily meals, what I take and what helps me and what doesn't help me, like alcohol. And I'll help you there as well. I'll explain all that in details, but that will be on my Instagram stories. So watch for my Instagram stories for the next few days. I will be going through everything on there with you guys. If you have any questions, like I said, you can always DM me, message me, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. I hope this episode gave you some value. I hope you learned something today about yourself. But most of all, I hope you learn that there's nothing wrong with you, that you're perfectly perfect. And it's your birthright to be happy and joyful. So, on that note, I want to say, go love yourself and please do the work. Learn about your body and yourself and take care of yourself. Love you.